Okay, here's how to import the alien that you sculpt into 3ds Max so that you can include it in one of your animations. Again, this is the welcome screen. I'm going to click on New Empty Scene. Continue. And I'm going to click on the 3ds Max icon, click on Import, click on Desktop, find the folder with the alien files in it, and there's Alien 3 OBJ. So click on that, click on Open. Again, similar to what we did with the Star Wars spaceships, we're going to have Reset Scene off, Import as Single Mesh on, turn these two off, and we'll say Import Materials, but you'll see it won't work right away, but make sure that that is tick boxed, and then click on Import. It says Material Not Found, but that's okay. Click on Close. Now what we want to do is we want to scale it to the right size. So I'm going to press I'm going to click on the perspective viewport and press Alt-W. That's just a shortcut for the bottom right hand button there, which is Maximize Viewport Toggle. Alt-W. Middle mouse button, Pan. Middle mouse button and Alt is Orbit. And you can see at the moment it is below the ground plane. So I can press Alt-W again, go to a front view, zoom out a little bit, and grab the Move tool and move it above the ground plane. That's the ground plane right there. Then I can go back to the perspective viewport and Alt-W, and we're good to go. The only thing we need to do now before we add the color is make sure that we have the right scale. So what we're going to do is something new. Go over to the Create button, which is this one. Click on the box. And if you don't see length in millimeters, you will need to go over to where it says Customize Units Setup and make sure that metric millimeters is on. Then press OK. Now we're going to watch these here, and I'm going to click and drag a square and then let go of the mouse button, push the mouse up and click one more time, and you can see that this is the actual size of the cube in millimeters. Well, I'm going to change the height to about 2 meters, which is 2000. Enter. And I'm going to get the Move tool and move it to the right of our character, and this is just a guide for us to scale the character up. Now I'm going to click on our character, press the Scale button. Now, it's very important that you don't click on a specific axis, okay? Because if I did, for example, click on only the Z axis, it'll stretch it in only the Z direction, okay? What I really want to do is grab all three axes and scale it up that way, pushing the mouse forward. Move it above there, maybe into the middle, and perhaps he's a bit bigger than 2 meters, that's fine. Okay, then I can get rid of that cuboid. Okay, that is step one. Now if we zoom in, you can see that there's a lot of facets. So we want to smooth this model before we add the material. So to do that, we go over to the Modify panel, click on the modifier list, press S. Actually, no, we need to actually go down further than that, actually. We'll go down to Smooth and turn on Auto Smooth. And that solves that problem. Okay. You might want to turn off highlights because it might slow down your computer. So to turn off smooth highlights, we're going to go to Other Visual Styles and put on Just Smooth. Okay, it might speed up your computer's rendering speed. Okay, now we're going to create a material. So to do that, I'm going to press M for Materials. And you get something like this. Well, if I change the mode to Compact Material Editor, okay, and at the moment I've got 6 blank material slots. Just click on the first one there, and right down here where it says Diffuse, at the moment it's light gray. But if we want to add an image there, click in the little box to the right where it says none. Change this to bitmap. Press OK. Go to the desktop, Alien Animation, find the Alien 3 texture map. That's what it looks like, incidentally. Press open. And now, hopefully, we just drag that onto our alien. I've got one thing. I need to say show standard map in viewport. And that worked. Okay. So the next part, animating, will be the simplest form of animation, is moving the camera. So I'm going to get a dramatic view to start with, and then work backwards from that. Okay. At the moment you can see it's very low resolution, but we will hopefully render in higher resolution later. Okay, let's say that that's our final shot, zoomed in like that. So press Ctrl C, save that shot, and I'm going to move the camera forward to maybe, let's try 100. I'm going to turn on auto. And now at 100, I'm going to get the orbit tool, which is this one, orbit camera, and just wiggle it a little bit. Okay. And now I'm going to move the camera back and orbit around that way. Middle mouse button to pan. Maybe do it like that. And now I want to also get this button here, which is the dolly camera, and zoom out a bit. And it's worth mentioning that when you're designing your film or your animation, you will know how much of the alien is in your shot. So if you know it's only going to be head and shoulders, you don't need to worry too much about the detail in the rest of the model like this. So let's say that that's our main shot. And I turn off auto and press play. Now it's a bit odd. It looks like it went off scene. So we're going to have to fix that. So we'll turn auto back on. Get to where it goes off scene. And see if we can bring it back into the scene. See what happens. Perhaps if we zoom out just a little bit, or dolly out I should say, like that. Turn off auto. Rewind. Play. Okay, stay tuned for future episodes where I will show you how to animate actual limbs, and that involves keyframe animation of all of the joints and muscles. Okay, stay tuned.